Hello and welcome to Man Up, the home of men's health and freedom. I'm James Menage. Today we're going to be looking at physical health and particularly a movement pattern called the lunge and how to condition one of the prime movers in the lunge, which is the glutes, in all three planes of motion. Now what we tend to do with the lunge is we tend to condition the glutes predominantly just in one plane of motion, which is the sagittal plane. When we do a lunge, I'll show you from the side, we'll just generally come down like so and repeat on the other side. What that's doing is it's conditioning the glutes here in that the sagittal plane of motion. And we all get very strong in the sagittal plane of motion because that's generally what we tend to do in the gym. But what we need to start doing is we need to start conditioning the glutes in all three planes of motion. So also the frontal plane and the transverse plane as well. So I'll show you a few lunge combinations now where you can actually start to condition the glutes in all three planes of motion. Okay, so just by adding a bit of a hand driver into it. So I'll show you a few lunges now where you're actually going to be conditioning the glutes not only in the sagittal plane but now also in the frontal plane with this movement here. And if you have a look what's happening at the hips as I reach to the side, is this hip is being pushed out that way, so it's creating adduction at the hips, and the glutes slow down adduction at the hips. Okay, so we're teaching the glutes now to control the hip joint in the frontal plane. What you can do is you can add a dumbbell to that to make it a little bit more challenging, like so, just alternating. And you can also use a viper as well, like this, and into there like so. Now the transverse plane, so how do we condition the glutes in a lunge in the transverse plane? So all we need to do is just add another reach, another arm driver in, and we reach across the top of the thigh that's lunging forwards. So now what we're creating at this hip is internal rotation. As I reach across, my torso rotates, and so in order to slow that internal rotation of the hip down, the glutes have to work. So you can see there, now I'm conditioning the glutes, not only in the sagittal plane as I come into hip flexion, but then also the transverse plane as I twist the torso in towards the leg that's gone forwards. Again, you can use dumbbells, you can use vipers for that. And then we can do combination training, so then we can start to train the glutes in all three planes of motion at the same time, and it will look something like this. As you can see, it's pretty challenging, so you're best off starting with one of the ones that I've shown you previously, and doing these will train the glutes, as I say, in all three planes of motion. So stay tuned for more tips on physical health, and we'll catch up with you soon. Keep watching.